afternoon, Toastmaster guests.
Good afternoon.
Yes, singular today. So before I jump into my speech, which I forgot to do, detailed by Ashwini, I have a small note that I prepared. I've been working on this since the last icebreaker, and the core concept of this brief note is that we are here for a motive. That motive could be different for each one of us. But at the end of the day, that motive is our own. What we take away from this platform is our own. And what we bring to this platform, that's again unique in their own way. And because it's unique, so there's no one particular way of doing things, there's no one particular way of delivering something or saving something. So that's the beauty of it. We are unique in our own way. And that's what my speech is built on today. My speech is to introduce to you a concept that helps to classify personalities. Now, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. This was said by Carl Jung almost 80 years ago, and Carl Jung is the father of clinical psychology, clinical and analytical psychology. And the purpose behind him saying these lines was that even though the irritant is the person other than ourselves, but we are the ones that respond to that irritant. Right? When you are faced with a difficult situation, let's say you're in traffic, you're late for work, there's a slow driver in front of you, and the clock is ticking, but you're not able to overtake that person and be on your way. So you get angry, you get irritated. He's a moron, doesn't know how to drive, who gave him a driving license? So that's your reaction. But the irritant is that person. He may be oblivious to your reaction, but the reaction is coming from you. So what does that tell you about yourself? Are you impatient? Does that help you to identify one trait of your personality? Are you an impatient person? Do you lose your cool when you're faced with an adverse situation? So that's just one example. The other could be your relationship with a peer, your relationship with your boss, your CEO, with your colleague, with your friends, your relationship with your wife or husband. When he or she demands to purchase something. In a marriage, that's a joint decision. When you're spending something, you have to take the approval of the spouse or you end up in trouble. And again, it will be a dispute that arises. And I'm sure the married people here can relate to that. The personality types do need to match. You cannot tell your wife, I'm spending this much on a car, don't bother me. It doesn't concern you, it's my car. You cannot do that. If you're in a marriage, your personalities do need to get along. And to help get along, Carl Jung did a bunch of experiments, he built up a questionnaire, he took these readings, and based on that, he gave a typological approach that can help to understand the human psyche in a better way. And when we talk about understanding the human psyche, let me go a bit theoretical here and tell you that there are 4 dichotomies. Dichotomy is essentially a pair. The first pair is introversion and extroversion. By the sheer definition, I'm sure this is clear to you, introversion versus extroversion. So this dichotomy talks about how you approach the world in general. Do you take your energy from the world outside and then spend it inwards, or is it the other way around? Like I'm an introvert. I recharge my batteries, I recharge myself in my alone time. When I'm not with people, I'm not interacting, because interaction for me takes away my energy that is very precious to me. So introverts have usually been seen like comets. They stay in their shell. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Right and wrong is completely subjective. No one has a right to say what is wrong or right. It's simply that you compare that fact or that situation versus something that you've experienced in the past. You may have experienced thousands of people who are extroverts, and this is the first introvert that you see. So it will be strange for you. It could be the other way around. Introversion could be wrong for you, and extroversion will be something that makes you step back. Oh, this person is loud. He needs to calm down. So that's the first dichotomy. Now moving on to the second dichotomy, which is sensing and intuition. The sensing and intuition talks about how you take in information. Do you look at the facts? If you do, you're sensible. Great. the facts, made a rational decision. But how did that decision influence that person who was associated with that activity? Did it hurt them? You're the HR in the company. The person is not performing. The numbers are not there. You made a decision. But how did that decision affect that person? You took away their livelihood. Right? So that's what we talk about. We talk about sensible versus intuition. How you make decisions, how those decisions impact others. Do you even care about those decisions, or do you care about being rational? Moving on to the third dichotomy, which is thinking versus feeling. Pretty self-explanatory. This talks about let me think about it and not worry about what I feel about it. So this talks about when you're fed inputs from the environment, could be our audience members here, how do you react to it? Are you a calm, composed person? Are you reserved by nature? Or are you something who is aggressive? Will be in your face? Is thinking more important to you? How an idea could be? Or is acting more important? Enough of that fluff, talking about things. I want to act. Some people are like that. So that was the third dichotomy. Moving on to the last one, which is judging and perceiving. Judging and perceiving talks about how you take that information, how you move on with life, how you interact with the world. In day-to-day life, do you judge people? Use their appearances, look at them, take facial cues, body language, do you look at that? Or do you look at a person and you compare that with something that you've experienced in the past? So you rely on your perception of that person. That perception helps you, gives you cues about what the person is about. So this was a brief introduction of the dichotomies. And I have activity planned. If your time permits later on, we can do that and help you identify your personality types. Thank you.